Welcome.
Welcome to another episode of Bourbon Booze. It's Whiskey Day. If you like what we do and like all of our reviews, make sure you check out everything Monday through Friday and hit that like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Go ahead and share the video because you never know who else might like a good or poor review of what we do. Today is a special day. We've had this a little bit, but I haven't really delved into it because I wanted to get it on camera, and that's the Nikka. It's a Japanese whiskey. It's their coffee grain. So it's a single malt whiskey, Japanese whiskey. This isn't Scotch brought in. It's a Japanese whiskey that's distilled in a coffee still, which is the first continuous still that was invented after pot still. Okay. So pot still is a one batch distill endeavor, and coffee stills are those big long column, like a column still, where you can continuously produce. And yeah, so the Japanese, this company was formed, and it's the Miyagiko Distillery. Miyagiko, Miyagiko, was formed in 1934. The guy that formed this is the father of Japanese whiskey. He lived in Scotland, married a Scottish girl.
If you really get into the lore of this, it's very interesting.
So this is from that original company. It is a single malt, Japanese single malt. It's kind of costly though, $59.99. So that's a one barrel, it's $60. And we have another one. It's over here in the we have a big shelf over here just plumb full of stuff that's not in camera. We have another Nikki, and I'm not sure which it is, over there somewhere.
I think it was like one of the most popular Japanese single malt.
Yeah, because he actually is distilling it. This won the gold medal in 2019 World's Whiskey Competition. And I think this is actually what started the whole rush on Japanese whiskey. So if you remember last year, you could hardly find it. Last couple of years, you couldn't find them. They were really expensive, and they were unprepared for everybody jumping into Japanese whiskey. And so they've started to recover, and a bunch of different companies have come out. A lot of it is just sourced whiskey, and like I say, a lot of Japanese whiskey is actually Scotch. It's matured and made in Scotland, shipped in, and relabeled. The Japanese are huge whiskey fans. I hear you can get these in vending machines on the street. So the proof is 45% or 90 proof. Pretty decent, and it is aged. There's a no age statement on it. They don't put one on there, but it's believed that the single malt is aged anywhere between 8 and 12 years. Oh, and it's a screw top, by the way. So if that matters to you, it doesn't. I think corks are a gimmick, and there's a whole history about the movement to corks and stuff, and whether it's a real thing or not.
I haven't really done a deep dive in that, but the corks were before the screw top, and then the corks came back, so it's like...
Okay. All right, so let's go on with this. $59.99. This is going to be a one barrel on cost. This is the Nikka coffee grain. Oh, wow. It actually, probably psychologically, has a coffee essence to me.
Oh yeah, now that you just said that.
I think it's a barley. Actually, it's corn. For cost, $60. This makes it a one barrel, so it's going to be hampered, and it's probably not readily available at a decent price for you where you are located. In fact, I think I bought this bottle in Alaska, and it cost me...
A lot more.
Well, it cost me about $70, I think, so about $20 more. And it was at a Costco, I believe. And they don't really price gouge. And then I've seen it on the shelf in liquor stores down here for a couple $100. In fact, I think I've seen it as high as $300 back in the craze, if it was even available. But I think it is now much more widely available and probably at a reasonable price. I don't know. I don't really go to the local place that's just down the street from us because of their prices, but that's probably a good place to go just to see what the gouging is, because they gouge. Alright, so you're giving it 3.5s all across the board. I'm giving it a 4 all across the board. So we're still getting a 3-barrel overall. For aroma, I find it sweet, a little menthol, coffee, the essence of coffee, even though it's a psychological thing, because it's not coffee. There's no coffee in it.
It's just a coffee still.
It's a coffee still.
There's a little licorice in there.
Yes, I got anise just a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't like overpowering or anything. It was just right on. And I had chocolate, definite chocolate in the aroma.
Okay.
And
I got a little bit of lavender and florals.
It's both honey and maple syrup in both the flavor and the aroma.
I can do maple syrup, yeah. Or maple. For flavor, a lot of that is in there.
A lot of what?
Of what we just described.
Yeah.
It's very mellow. Vanilla, cocoa, like a cocoa. A mild anise to it. Floral. And, yeah, that maple. Yeah, that's a good pickup. Anything else on floral?
A little sweetness from corn, but I don't know if it's corn that's...
Well, from what I've read, it is. It doesn't say on the bottom, but what I've read is that this single grain is actually corn grain.
So, yeah, I picked up that sweetness from that, too.
No lingering. You give it a 3.5. I'm giving it a 4.
I could give it a 4 all the way. It's like...
So this is a 3-barrel overall, but this is not a 3-barrel. This, to me, is another bonus barrel of a full point. I think this is a 4-barrel.
Yeah, just because the price point.
Well, I think it's absolutely fabulous. I like it.
No, it's really, really good.
Now that we've done the review, I can start drinking it.
It's like... It's definitely something that you pull out at a gathering.
Right. Tell us what you think about Nikka. We've done Suntory, Sensi, with a couple of Nikkias. I think that's it on the Japanese. But tell us what you think about Japanese whiskey in general and the Japanese whiskey craze. I do have some scotch with Manzanera finish. Manzanera is the oak wood in Japan. I think it's Manzanera.
That's a native oak wood.
Oh, native oak, and it gives it a really nice sweetness. And that could be what this is aged in, because it's got a cool sweetness to it.
It's really, yeah, it's...
Tell us what you think about Nikka in general, the coffee. Still, and remember, it's coffee, not C-O-F-F-E-E, it's C-O-F-F-E-Y. It's named after the guy that made it.
Different.
John Coffey.
Instead of a pot, it's a straight...
Tell us what you think. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and merchandise and all of our other videos Monday through Friday. We hope you have a great whiskey day. And remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And this is great whiskey.
Yeah, it's really great.
Cheers.
Laters.